All right, we're here with head coach Dave Preston. Coach, you pick up 2 wins this weekend against the Queens squad that, while their record doesn't show it to this point, that's one of the better teams in the conference. What did you see out of your guys tonight against a quality opponent in the second half of a back-to-back?
I believe Queens is 8th in the country right now in the top 10 ranking, so not just one of the best in the conference, sorry for the correction, but one of the best in the country. We knew after last night's performance that it was going to be a battle royale. I don't know what the numbers are. I'd probably be making it up if I said anything, but a lot of our Queens matches go 5, almost everyone. So the one that happened last night where we beat them 3-0 was an anomaly. But yeah, tonight we knew we were going to battle. Didn't get out of the gates very well. Had to make a couple moves. Showed some pretty good depth, some pretty good character tonight. At high level volleyball, that's kind of how it has to be done, right? You win a couple of those big points and you side out where you're able. And I thought Ben Kirchhoff did a really, really good job of handling their serving pressure because they put some pace on it tonight. And then I thought Peter Rigosi came in and did a heck of a job coming in the match and kind of stabilizing our reception and getting some really key kills when down the stretch. So yeah, there's some really, really good moments for us. 2-0 against Queens. Wow, that's a good weekend.
So at times it seems as though your net play was frustrating Gaels' front line. There was a couple of extended plays there where your front three were putting up some blocks. How does it open up the game when your net play is as strong as it was tonight?
Woji was a man. Hey? Like he was really, really good. I did that one rally. He had three blocks in one rally. At first the serving pressure has to be right, and then our block can kind of help it a little bit. But I thought we did a pretty good job of doing what we can do. Like Eric Sixna is one of the best players in the country, let alone maybe the world. But so it was hard for us to adjust to that. But I thought we did a good job of serving them into what we wanted them to run and then trying to deal with it. But like he still hit that pipe. I think he was 400 on the pipe tonight. So I was pleased with our block defense overall. I thought our backcourt, Matthew Rugosi, I'm not sure what the stat number is, but I bet he had 10 digs. So I think he'd be pretty close to it. If he wasn't, I challenged him because last night he had 6, and he was pretty proud of that. And I said, Matthew, you probably could have had 9. And so in the warm-up, I kind of flashed him a little 9, and he like, I got this. And not only did he get his 9, he got his 4 more just to rub it in my face.
And then, Dave, I'm just build on what you said earlier about kind of, the Queens versus Queens last night versus this night. I mean, where do you feel kind of Queens made adjustments or kind of?
Well, first off, we had no idea that they'd be putting 7 on the opposite, right? So he played on the left last night, and then he played on the opposite tonight. They went with 5 and 4 on the left, 7 on the opposite. So, they adjusted overnight, as most good teams do. We had to adjust on the fly. When we had some guys that, we didn't have a lot of data on, but I thought our guys made some really good in-match adjustments when they threw a different lineup at us. Their middles are world class, so we knew we were going to get out of that. But when they moved 14 off the floor and put 7 on the opposite, that was a little bit of a change that we had to adjust to.
Yeah, and then I guess even in terms of the match, because Queens takes that 4th set, and then you guys get out from early to take the 5th set. I guess in between maybe 4th and 5th set, what do you feel in terms of maybe the team responding to that or adjusting to that, I guess? Kind of.
Well, I don't think we had very good starts in any of the first 4 sets. So I'm really glad we had a really good start in the 5th. If you're going to have a good start, 5th set's pretty good set to do it because it's a sprint to 15. So I was, we kind of played from behind a lot of the night tonight, and that's exhausting physically and emotionally. I was pleased that we got out front a little bit and then tried to close it out down the stretch.
And then lastly, for me, in terms of the starting sets, right? In terms of here's even kind of in the timeouts between sets and stuff? Is there certain things you try to say or players try to say to kind of to try to start a set well?
Yeah, just trying to keep because we had a little bit of a different lineup on the floor, it was just a constant reminder of our game plan stuff, right? Of what our blocking assignments were, what our digging assignments were. Coach Ian did a really good job of keeping them engaged on where we wanted to serve and how we wanted and who was serving at us. So I thought we did a pretty good job with those kind of tactical details between sets and in timeouts.
So looking ahead, you come back from break with 2 at home against a perennial contender for the NCAA title in Long Beach State, January 5th and 7th. What do you think games against a powerhouse non-conference program can do for your team kind of mid-season like that as you prepare to make a deep run?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge because, we're going to have a month off now where the guys are in exams, so we got to maintain that. But part of the reason why we bring Long Beach in is because we know that they're going to be spectacular. They're extremely well coached, very, very physical. They'll expose things on us that we'll want to attend to. Very similar to Ohio State, but if you're going to kickstart a second half of the season, I couldn't think of a better opponent to do it than a 2-time back-to-back defending NCAA champion from a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I know our guys are excited about it too. So, but I tell you, we bring those opponents in so that we can kind of create that championship environment in our gymnasium. But the last 4 matches we've had at home, we've had that same environment. The crowd in Hamilton right now has been unbelievable, and it's so loud. You can hear it in my voice because I've been yelling in timeouts. But just the championship environment that our institution has been able to create for our student athletes is second to none right now. So I just hats off to our whole administration to kind of create that environment for our student athletes that they can benefit from that.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Thank you.
Set. All right, we're here with Peter Rigosi. Peter, career high 12 kills for you tonight. What was clicking for you tonight to have a breakout game?
I think just the passing helped a lot because as an undersized hitter, I don't have a lot of chances to score when there's a bigger block on me. And just the passing was there, and our middles were able to go and just sell it so well, and allowed myself to get on a lot of one-on-ones, which really, really helped me to score today.
So a big 3-0 win last night. How difficult is it to win back-to-back games against a really high-quality opponent in Queens when you know they're going to be making adjustments?
It's extremely difficult purely because once you win, you kind of get that mentality. Oh, we're good, we're in the clear. But then the other team knows, oh, this is what we have to fix against this team. This is what we have to do to counter X, Y, and Z. So it's extremely difficult. Queens came out gunning for us, and they did a really, really good job fixing all the things that wasn't going well the first time. But we just were able to come out on top because we followed our game strategy provided by our coach, and it worked well.
And then Peter Michael from 49 Sports. I guess on that, in terms of Queens takes the first set, and then the second set goes down the wire. How do you feel like the team's able to kind of maybe, or you guys even make adjustments or kind of improve kind of as the game kind of goes along?
Yeah, for sure. So at the beginning, we had like a little bit of a slower start, but our coach was on top of it. I forget how much we were down in the first set, but coach made adjustments, coach changed up the plan a bit, and we were able to slowly climb back, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for the first set. But it proved in the second and third set that those adjustments worked really, really well because we won. But then in the fourth set, the Queens coach did the exact same thing, made the adjustments, knew where they had to improve, and because of that, they were able to come out top on the fourth. But in the fifth, we came out just gunning for it. We knew what we had to do after our fourth set loss. We made those adjustments, and that's why I think we did so well in the fifth.
And then, we were just talking to your head coach Dave earlier. He was mentioning about kind of in the first four sets about the team didn't start as well, and then the fifth set you guys start early.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess from your perspective, kind of what, even in the game, like what do you find is the key to kind of the important factor to like starting the set really well in terms of even like in between sets and stuff in terms of like what's the important factor to like starting the sets well?
Yeah, I think the most important factor has got to be serving. Purely because that serve dictates whether they can run their full offense, half their offense, only one option. And so the fifth set, when we started off really well, I think we got up 4-0. I believe it was Robbie. He was serving extremely well, and he got them out of system a lot of the times, which allowed us to capitalize on their one hitter or two hitters that were only available to swing instead of their full offense. And yeah.
And then lastly for me, in terms of, I believe your brother Matthew had 13 kills, or not 13 digs tonight. I mean, kind of, what stood out about his performance tonight, and then even with the season overall?
Yeah, so Matthew has been playing fairly well this entire season, but I think this game definitely showed what he's fully capable of, because there's been a couple of instances, including last night, where Matthew had some opportunities to dig it, but he wasn't there. But in this game, he was looking at film the entire day. He was on top of it. And when it came down to the stretch, Matthew knew where he had to be. He knew exactly the type of angle that he needed, and he just got dig after dig after dig, and that helped us immensely. There's a couple times which I didn't want to change my blocking strategy, but Matthew knew, no, Peter, go inside a little bit. I got that line fully covered, and I trust him. He's my brother. I know that he knows what he's doing, and because of that trust, I did that. He got a perfect dig down the line, and I think because of that, he's a great defender, and I'm just excited to see what he's going to do next.
So after tonight, you're looking at a month-long break before big games against Long Beach, Brock, Toronto on the back end of the holiday. Having been through a few of these mid-season breaks now, how do you and your team stay focused after kind of such a hot start to the season?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, the games now are what happens, but as soon as the game's over, that's in the past. Our main goal is nationals. Everyone on the team knows that. So we're thinking in the future. So during Christmas break, for example, we're taking care of our bodies. We're making sure we're getting our practices in. We're making sure we're getting our lifts in, because our body's got to be in peak performance, so that when nationals hits, we're there, we're ready, and we're at the best that we can be, instead of taking a break over Christmas and now we're playing catch up for the 1 month that we missed with no gameplay at all.
Perfect. Thanks, Peter.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, we're here with second-year outside hitter Maxime Gratton. Max, slow start in the first set. Had to grind out a gutsy, great team win tonight. Let's get your initial thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, pretty much what you just described. I think it was, if I speak like on a personal level, it was definitely a challenge, and I had to grind. But I feel like that kind of translated itself with the team. There was some times it was very up and down. I feel like there was some times where the team was on, we were going, and there were some times also where it was a little more kind of iffy, and making a little bit too many mistakes, not being able to put the ball away. But down the stretch, I mean, we showed up. In the fifth set, we were there to win and nothing else. So we just we gamed, and it worked. So
big night on the other side from one of the best players in the country, in Eric Sixna. What did you guys see on film heading into this week, and how did Queens stack up to kind of what you were expecting?
Yeah, well, we saw a few of his tendencies, but a guy like that, you can't really stop him. You can only try and manage him. I think we did a better job yesterday than today, and I think that he also played better today than yesterday. So yeah, like I said, it's really tough to have a game plan that we know will work. We try to see what he's doing in game, and then we try to adjust midway through. Get maybe you block him down the line and we'll dig him across, or we're gonna take away one of his angles, and especially on the pipe, he's a really good pipe hitter. So yeah, it's more just adjusting, trying to find trends during the match, and then executing it.
And then Max, I mean, building off kind of what you said about kind of in that fifth set, kind of get into that sort of like game mode, I guess, kind of
Yeah.
in terms of okay, what's that kind of mentality like, kind of when you're that mental kind of state like in terms of when you guys get to that point of kind of executing really well, or kind of in that fifth set in terms of getting that mode?
Well, there's I don't know if this is okay. We just have that killer mentality, where it's do or die. We just go. By the fifth set, usually we're gonna know all the adjustment that we've done. We're gonna know the game plan by heart, and we don't even have to think about it. And we're gonna be very very consistent at executing it. So by then, it's really just gaming. It's just showing up and doing what we got to do to win. And that's more, I don't know, it's just having that killer mentality.
that killer mentality? Are you able to kind of, not just with this game, kind of with games in general, are you able to kind of sustain that throughout a match, or do you find that kind of develops more later on during the match? Or how's that?
I don't know. I'd say as a team, we have a tendency to start the match kind of leveled, and we assess our opponents, see how they're playing, and then we respond to that. We try our best. We come to the game prepared, obviously, with a lot of game planning, a lot of tactical knowledge. But from there, it's the in-game adjustments that are really important. And so if everything's going well, I mean, all we got to do is execute. But then if we got to start grinding, that's when the guys really get heated, and that's when we go.
Finally, we're at the mid-season break here. Finals coming up. Any big plans for the holidays?
I'm going to the cottage. I'm going to need it. But in terms of volleyball, yeah, we still have, even with exams coming up, we still have practices, we still have lifts. But yeah, definitely just to slow the pace down a little, just to take a breath. You know, it's gonna feel good, especially before the second half, which is gonna be a really, it's gonna be another very condensed and challenging period of time. So yeah, I think it's finding a balance in, like Pete said, getting our bodies ready and keeping our bodies kind of regulated and in shape, but also taking a step back and just taking a breath. Like I said, some of the guys are gonna go to the cottage, some of the guys are gonna chill at home with family. Recovery is just as important as working. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.